All right, so we have some breaking news today. Finally, after much ado, Ken Martin from the DNC has decided to release the 2024 autopsy on what went wrong in the 2024 election. Now, I don't think that this is the real report, and I'm going to explain why. But first, let's look at the report itself. It was submitted to CNN, where you can come and read the report in full. Also includes comment from Ken Martin, where he apologizes. He says, after last November's massive Democratic wins, I didn't want to create a distraction, but by not putting the report out, I ended up creating an even bigger distraction. For that, I sincerely apologize. He then goes on to say that he's doing this because people need to be able to trust the Democratic Party and trust our word. Ironically, if you actually go to the conclusion page of this autopsy, it was not even provided by the author, as indicated in the text in red. This page, I think, is a perfect encapsulation of the Democratic Party. We got nothing. We got nothing for you. In conclusion, nothing. Um, so the report was conducted by somebody named Paul Rivera, Democratic strategist Paul Rivera, who did not provide comment in regards to this story. Now, the report was submitted last year, but he was only fired today. So, if Ken Martin felt that he did such a poor job on this report, why was he only fired today and not much earlier than that at a time which Ken Martin realized like how bad this report was? He's been saying for a few weeks that they did like such a bad job in the report that it wasn't good enough to release to the public. So why didn't they fire that guy a long time ago? This is a question that many people are asking, and I think it's a very reasonable question. But here's the thing, I think that this guy might just be a fall guy so that people believe this story, find it to be believable. They've now put out a report that people, can look at. It's full of errors. Many people are saying they think it was written by AI. A lot of people do find it believable. A lot of people are just accepting that, maybe it was just incompetence. And it's certainly the case that the Democratic Party is very incompetent. And I don't think that these things are mutually exclusive. I do think that they are incompetent, but I also think that they are hiding something. Because as many people have noted, if you actually search this autopsy for Gaza, nothing comes up. And that just doesn't make sense. I think everybody knows that the genocide in Gaza cost the Democrats the 2024 election, if not in whole, then certainly in part. This is something that even Kamala Harris wrote about in her book and acknowledged that post election surveys showed that dissatisfaction with her handling of Gaza was a big part of why people stayed home. Now, the reason I think they're hiding something is this reporting on Axios from February 2026. Scoop. Dems working on secret report found Gaza cost Harris votes. Activists from the IMEU Policy Project told the DNC that the Biden Harris administration support for Israel was a factor in the party's losses because it drained support from some young people and progressives. Hamid Bendas, a spokesperson for the IMEU Policy Project, said that during the meeting, the DNC shared with us that their own data also found that policy was, in their words, a net negative in the 2024 election. Two other senior aides at the pro-Palestinian organization also said the DNC had drawn that conclusion. So the IMEU is the Institute for Middle East Understanding. The DNC apparently, according to this scoop, earlier this year, set up a meeting with them to have a conversation about data showing that Gaza cost Democrats the election, and they agreed. So two things can't really be true here. Either Hamid and the IMEU are lying, which I don't think to be true whatsoever, or they're hiding something. Like, because where is the mention of Gaza in this report? It is nowhere. And so, what I'm suggesting is not necessarily that there's a secondary report that is totally comprehensive. I don't know whether or not they actually assembled that or put that together. But what I am saying is that in their pursuit of information to form that report that this data was gathered and it is out there sitting in a document somewhere at the very least within the DNC. And if that is true, that means the people that worked on it still know about it, and they might decide to go to the media and talk about what they know. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the next, I don't know, couple days, you see a follow up article saying that somebody who actually worked on this report actually does know something about them gathering data on Gaza. And again, I'm not saying it's a total comprehensive report, but there's definitely some data that was collected. And at this point, using the technicality of like report or, whatever, it's kind of besides the point. The point is like, what information were you able to gather about why we lost the election? And if you have useful information, why are you sitting on it? And if you know that the reason was partially, at the very least, driven by Gaza, you have an obligation to share that with us and to shape your policy going forward so that we don't repeat this pattern and so that we can actually go forward and win elections like Ken Martin says that he wants to. If you like this video, like, repost, subscribe, follow, whatever, do the thing, whatever platform we're on. And thank you for listening.